God's not real. Next.
What? You promised me?
I touch myself to guns.
Glorified Boy Scout.
I'm raw dogging life right now.
Not so controlled chaos.
What is an opinion that you've had that has changed over time?
Opinion that. Damn. Now you
Ooh.
have to make me think. Ooh.
That has changed over time. I don't know. I think like all the shit that like parents told you not to do growing up, like drinking, gambling, like basically those two, I guess. But like, I don't know, man, because like everything's good in moderation. Like if you know, so like I don't know. That's really the only thing that changed in my opinion. Other than I moved from like liking muscle cars to liking most cars. Like I'm big in JDM right now.
What about you, Tony? Have you had an opinion that you like were strong-sided for when you were younger, and like maybe like through age and like more education, you kind of shifted your views?
Bro. Everything that my mom said to me, basically, like Hispanic mom, you know how they are.
Yeah.
Like, no hagas eso, es malo por ti. And then when I came here, bro, I was like, change, bro. I'm like, I don't believe that no more. I don't believe in that brujeria, you know?
You don't?
Well, I kind of do, but
I don't necessarily. I don't.
Hey,
So like,
explain what that is.
brujeria is
brujeria,
witchcraft.
witchcraft.
Oh, you don't believe witchcraft is real?
Oh, I do.
Oh, I was like, damn, Tony.
I do.
So like,
Witchcraft
there's
is
It's,
100% real.
you know, like the
Yeah,
evil
it
eye.
is. Well, no, yeah, no, actually, no.
Or like
No,
Coleman.
not that.
Yeah.
So like, have you ever heard Tony like echando el ojo?
Oh, el mal de ojo?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what
So
it
like,
is.
yeah, like just shit like that, like old superstitions and shit. Like
Okay, I feel like that's an opinion that kind of changed because, like, what, how? I don't know if that's real or not, but it's not for me.
I don't
I
feel
don't
like
believe
white
that.
people have that. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
like Hispanic culture in general, you guys have a bunch of like cool, like, I
weird.
don't know, like old, like wives' tale stories, I guess.
Oh, we do, bro. We got the
Like,
coolest one.
and like the white guys, we have like fucking Paul Bunyan or whatever.
What the fuck is
And
that?
that's
No,
like
no, no.
it.
What is that? Explain to me.
all
He,
Bunyan.
yeah, he's just a giant lumberjack, basically.
Or what's his name?
Damn,
The
that's.
redcoats. The redcoats are coming. The redcoats are coming. What was his name?
Oh,
Oh, I ain't nice. I don't know. I don't know none of that.
I can't remember his name for the
Tony, we
life
had
of
to
me.
learn this in school, bro.
What grade?
I almost said John Wilkes Booth, but that's not right.
Dude, no way.
What grade
Paul
do you have
Revere,
to learn
maybe?
about this?
Paul Revere, yes.
It was?
That's
Yeah.
who it is, yeah. I'm just
And then
picturing
like I guess like
John
Lewis and
Wilkes
Clark
Booth.
would be like another white people thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just caught up on the fact that in my head I was like, who is the fucking
The
the redcoats
Fukin.
coming in? I'm like
The
John Wilkes Booth,
Fukin.
that too.
Who is the Fukin guy?
Yeah, whatever.
Nah, you're good, bro. I'm just messing with you.
Shit.
That's it. So like, what do you mean by like? So when you said that, you said you don't really believe in brujeria. What did you mean by that exactly? So like, you believe in brujeria, but like, so like, what do you
Kind of
mean like
like
as far as like what your mom was saying? I guess.
the mal de ojo type shit and otras cosas más.
You know, so like when I, I guess I kind of agree with you, and I kind of don't, just depending on how you would interpret like that saying. I guess if that.
Yeah.
So like echando mal de ojo, like like it could be like they're.
What my mom explained to me is like if a drunk person show up and just fucking I don't know, just at the baby and shit like that. That's how you get mal de ojo. I was like, I don't know about that, man.
I thought it
I
was
don't
more
believe
along
in
the
that.
lines of like looking at somebody and not like greeting them or like like being respectful in a sense, because like that could be
Okay.
that they're like trying to cast negative energy on you and shit like that.
Yeah, it also means like that too. But I don't know, bro. I don't believe in that.
So
Interesting.
what do you believe about it?
Believe
That's a
what?
good question.
About my
I don't know,
girlfriend?
Tony.
No.
I'm like, do you believe in any of that stuff? Like, I never really bought into the like, what is it, La Llorona?
La Llorona, I kind of do believe in that.
Well,
Honestly.
because she was the one that drowned her kids in the river or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then what is the actual like superstition behind it? She's gonna come snatch your kids if they're naughty or something like that. Well, don't laugh. I don't know.
You can go to anybody, bro. It's just,
I
regardless
don't
if
know. I
you're
just saw
bad or
like
not.
one movie trailer about her, and I read like a
It's
5-second
a
article.
5-second article. That's crazy.
Well, that's how far my interest was peaked on it. And then after that, I was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay.
I guess.
Honestly, bro, I
But
really believe in like brujeria and shit like that, like
I
people
do.
casting negative energy and shit like that.
That's because it's real.
But do you believe in mal de ojo though? You know, is it?
I believe that it's a form of brujeria, like it's a form of casting negative energy onto somebody. Yeah,
Alright.
that's why. Like, so like an example is like when my wife was pregnant with my daughter.
Yeah.
We didn't tell anybody, like not even people in our family, bro. Like the only people that realistically needed to know that my wife and I were having a kid was my wife and I,
Yeah.
me and my wife. You feel me? So
Was that because of like superstition stuff, or is that because of?
not even just that. It's just more along the lines of the fact that like we just didn't need, like I said, the only people that need to know is my wife and I. And like I guess part of it was because of the superstition thing. Like it was also like a period of my life, like how I told you guys before, where I cut off my entire family, and like I just didn't want them to know. I didn't feel like they should know and like deserve to know, realistically.
Yeah.
And like I said, like the only people that need to know were my wife and I. At the end of the day, anybody else that knew that she was going to be born and anybody else that knew her, that's a privilege that my wife and I gave them to have. It's not, I don't need to tell anybody about anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, so like part of it was because of like mal de ojo, because I didn't want like certain people, not even just in my family, but like just people in general, because you never know, bro. Like there's haters everywhere that they have, they are in tune with this kind of brujeria or like witchcraft or whatever it is, and some scandalous ass people will try to fucking bring you down or try to wish like bad things upon you and your family and everything like that. And I'd rather not.
Alright. Yeah, bro. I don't know if I do believe it. I feel like it's just I don't know.
An opinion that I've had that's changed over time is I don't know. I'm pretty stubborn.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Uh, I wouldn't say that like my opinion has like entirely changed on anything, but with more insight, I guess I have more of an understanding, and like I said, I haven't shifted my opinion, but like I do see bigger picture or like other perspectives of many things that like I was just kind of tunnel visioned on as a kid. Like an example would be like abortion. I've always been like, I guess this is something that my opinion has changed on, I guess. So when I was younger, like I believed that you shouldn't ever, for any reason, have an abortion. But that was like when I was very young, before I learned about a lot of the things that happen in life, like a lot of the shittier situations that people could get pregnant in and everything like that. And so I guess that's something that I've kind of shifted my views on. Like, so like an example of like somebody gets raped and gets pregnant as a result of that rape, I believe that they should have the right to terminate that pregnancy due to the fact that it wasn't their choice. It was something that somebody else forced them into. It would be something that would scar them for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean? Even if like you try to sit there and argue like, oh, well, you could just give it up for adoption. Like that person's stuck creating and being drained of their nutrients, energy, and life force for 9 months because of some piece of shit that couldn't go beat his dick for a day.
Yeah.
So like
Alright.
in
Fuck, now
situations,
you just changed my fucking opinion on that, bro. What the fuck? Oh, damn, alright. Yeah, I agree with you.
but I'm against it in other situations. So like let's say you're in a consensual relationship that leads to you like a pregnancy, right? I don't
Mm-hmm.
think that you should be allowed to have an abortion just because you're just like, I don't want this kid. I
Yeah.
don't.
That's called being a whore, and
Yeah.
they shouldn't even have any say in that matter.
I don't agree. Yeah, I don't agree with that whatsoever because it's like, to me, it's like, as an artist, when once you put your paint brush to the canvas, like that is your work of art. Like, why would you destroy your work of art? It's senseless.
Yeah.
And like, you should look at your child the same way. Like, you put your paintbrush to the canvas, knowing damn well that you are going to be making a painting. Why would you destroy the painting? Like you put in all of that effort, and like if you didn't want to do it, all you had to do was just put your paintbrush to the canvas.
Yeah. They could have just wrapped it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there's ways to go. Like if you really didn't want to have a child, why did you wait till you were carrying the child for you to come to that conclusion? Why did you not take other measures? Like why were you not, like you said, wearing condoms or whatever other? Like I understand birth control is probably. I think birth control is horrible for women, but
Well, it fucks everything
No,
up on them.
there, yeah. Because they are.
yeah. That's like
However,
one.
they could still not be a whore. You know, like if you don't
Absolutely.
want to get pregnant, you can wait till marriage, or you guys could just be smart and wear a condom. You know, it's really pretty simple.
Yeah. It's pretty simple.
Well, I mean, is it not, Tony? Like,
It is. It is pretty simple.
you know,
I mean, you don't plan on ever having kids, do you?
no, I don't want them.
You're just gonna be the funkle forever.
I'm too selfish for kids. I feel like you have to be pretty selfless to have kids and actually raise them. Like, I like my stuff being my stuff, and I don't like sharing it with people unwillingly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
Like, I don't know. I would rather enjoy, like, having nieces and nephews and stuff. Like, I don't know. I talk about, like, Miles's daughter a lot just because, like, I view her as, like, a niece, I guess. And so, like, I want to spoil her and like let her have fun, but I don't want to like raise her. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
get you.
that's just kind of how I view kids. Like I love getting them like wound up and like watching them have fun, but I don't actually want the responsibility of raising a child. Like
Fair.
I don't want that. I would rather be the guy who's like, "Hey, you guys want dirt bikes? Yes? Let's go get some dirt bikes." And then give them a bunch of fucking candy and a bunch of Mountain Dew. Teach them how to ride dirt bikes and just watch them go.
And
And
watch
then you
them
can
go.
leave and let the parents take care of everything else at the end of the day.
Yes, yeah. That is basically
Damn.
basically I just want to cause a little bit of chaos and then just back away and not have to
Back
deal
away.
with it.
Uncle Coleman.
That is
Damn, bro.
basically my
You would have
outlook.
been a cool uncle, bro. Damn.
Yeah, what do you mean would
Yeah,
have been,
bro.
Tony? I'm not
I
dead.
mean,
Not
you
yet.
are. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, you
Hey,
are.
Max.
Bro, I said for me though, if you were my uncle, it would have been fun.
Yeah, well, that's what I plan to do. I plan to just be the fun uncle. Like, I don't know. You want to
Max.
come over and stay up till 4 a.m. playing video games? Come on over.
Come on over. We're like, my mom doesn't let me do this, so. Shh.
What you gonna do? They're both my younger siblings.
Max, I will now ask you the same question that I asked these gentlemen.
Yeah.
What is an opinion that you've had that has changed over time?
Many. It has to be something substantial. Like,
Not really. It can
Not
be anything.
necessarily, no. Yeah.
I'll have to think on this one because there's a lot of little dumb things that I definitely changed my opinions on just because I've gotten more information on it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I feel
Well,
like
like, I
that
feel like that's just how you
happens a lot.
grow.
Yeah, it happens so often. I'm trying to pin down one that like is significant.
I would say like a core opinion, like something that you like really stood on.
Oh, I really hated guns when I was a kid because my parents hated guns.
I didn't know that.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that either.
And then I became an adult. Well, I mean, when I was a teenager, just kind of made my own opinions on it, and now I'm very pro-gun.
What is it that you like learned that like shifted your
I'm
view?
really into statistics, and also like overall, like I had a lot of like friends around me and stuff that were into guns.
Mm-hmm.
So as a hobby, it always like interested me, but I just like was like, well, it's too dangerous and it's not good for everybody or whatever, so it's not worth it. But then as a teenager, I like kind of started Googling things more and looking up if it was actually that bad and kind of forming more opinions about our government and just people around me and realizing that not everyone's so cool. And owning a gun for protection or as a hobby isn't not just isn't so bad, but could be very beneficial.
Max was in high school and he just typed in computer why guns bad, and then it said the first thing that pops up is guns don't kill people, people kill
I
people.
kill people with guns. You
You
remember that song?
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Uh, I miss the early internet songs.
Yeah, I was like texting all my
Oh.
friends, "Don't come in tomorrow."
Oh.
What the fuck?
And then I was and then I was like, you know what? These aren't so bad for other things too. And I decided, well, it's because I was sick. I didn't want to give him the flu.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, you guys were going right to the. Is it because
Oh
I'm
no,
white?
absolutely not. No, it's just because
Is
we're
it
in
because
America.
I'm white? Yes, because you're
It
white.
can't be because I'm white. Yeah, I was gonna say it should be because I'm white.
This is America.
That's
This
not a
is
real song.
America.
I'm gonna stand on that right now. That's a fake song.
I think that it was a troll for sure. I think that he kind of made it to see if he could make money off of being ridiculous.
Yeah,
He did.
the main problem with that song is that there's people who generally like, no, that's a really good song. I'm like, what? No, it isn't. It's a bad song. But because Childish Gambino has some fucking bops,
He
has
does.
some good raps, dude. But that is basically it's almost like a it's like an indie song. It's like a political statement more than it is a song.
Yeah,
Which in
I
that
get you.
regard, it's good. I think it's a good political statement, but it's definitely not like music. Like even the beat was fine. But
But this is America, Max.
This is America.
yeah.
Yeah.
I hate the way he moves in the music video too.
I
So
know,
much
it's like
better.
all weird and fucking. Ugh.
I think he just like had some acid and he's like hit record now, and then they just kind of put everything else in the background.
I feel like that's how most musicians make their music after like they actually get famous. So like they make the quality shit to get famous, and then they get famous, and they're just like, yeah, they're gonna buy it because my name's on it.
Yay.
Yeezy, Yeezus.
Ye is his name Ye now though, right? Like Ye, what's his last name now? Is it Ye West?
Yay West.
Or is it just Ye? He just has one word name. Can you do that? Can you legally just be Ye?
Why not? What's stopping you?
Well, I just don't know if you have to still put West in there. Not sure. Let's see. I'm gonna look that up. See what that guy's really. Yeah, his songs suck now, real bad, but they were good.
Yeah, for sure. Back in the day, they were fucking stellar.
The problem is I think too many people called him a genius, and that really fucked him up because he started thinking he was the best lyricist of all time, and I'm like, you were never that, but you
No, he
had
was
some
never the
amazing
best.
bops.
He was good, but I wouldn't even call him really a lyricist, honestly.
At all, not at all. Yeah, I agree, not at all. Like he was like mid-tier lyrics, but like his songs overall were freaking awesome.
The crazy thing is that Kanye West started as a producer and then was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna rap.
He should have
I
stayed.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he was a producer at first. I think he was a producer for Jay-Z, and then he was just like, you know what, bro, fuck this, I'm gonna start rapping.
That checks, I guess.
Like there are some good lines in there for sure, but not only because
She
the
takes
song
my
is so good. I
money.
remember him. That was Jamie Foxx, sir.
With Kanye West. Now, I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Money. Oh,
Go
Yeah,
shit.
ahead,
it's a
man,
great
go
song.
ahead, get down. Go ahead. Sorry.
The best part of that
He
song
ain't
though,
messing with no broke.
Jamie Foxx, 100%.
Oh, yeah. She take my money.
Told you you're gonna sing a verse.
Ooh.
Oh god damn. Yeah,
I love
she's a
that song.
trifling.
Friend indeed.
Whoa, she's a gold digger.
Way uptown.
Yeah,
That
That
next song
dig's
dick's
though.
on
on
me.
me.
Tony's supposed to. Yeah, Tony's
Good
supposed to do
song,
the bum, 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 bum.
yeah.
He's like, I'm playing Fortnite. That's Kanye West.
No, I don't think he has a Kanye West skin yet.
What?
Do they have that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think his backpack is like the Fourth Reich flag.
I just started so much. They're gonna be on the store now.
Oh, they have
Put that in
Fluvius?
Fortnite if you want to
Pretty
make some
cool.
real money.
I thought it was gonna be him on like a cross or something.
Dude, you
Crucified.
know what? You're right. He's way too into himself. He's definitely just gonna put himself on the flag. He thinks
Uh-huh.
he's Jesus. But he's like, I can't be Jesus because no one can be Jesus. But I'm just saying, if someone were, it'd be me.
Damn.
No, he just thinks there can be no God. He thinks he's Jesus for sure.
That's wrong.
No, that's one of his songs. Jesus Walks.
Jesus walks.
Yeah,
Damn.
great song.
We can't get stuck on Kanye right now.
No, we just started singing all these Kanye songs. It's like
Yeah.
he is that fucking anti-Semitic piece of shit. She take my money, and we just sang a bunch of like the whole podcast is just reciting Kanye songs. He just makes so many good ones though.
I spent all day today singing Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra. I was telling them earlier.
But
All day.
That sounds like some dirty
That's
white.
just
Yeah.
Frankie Boy. Frankie Boy's good. Alright.
Good for the soul.
he is.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I've listened to Frank Sinatra. I mean, I obviously have, but I don't like do it casually.
You don't listen to Fly Me to the Moon at least once to twice a month?
I guess I'm gonna have to, or I can see what the
It,
hubbub's all about.
it helps
Max
with
is a
depression.
fake music fan.
I'm gonna have to listen to it once an hour.
It helps. It helps. Gets the serotonin pumping. You're like, fly me to the moon. And you're just like, oh, I love you,
Let
Frank
me
Sinatra.
play among the stars.
We gotta bring the mafia back.
Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter
Jupiter
and
and
Mars.
Mars. Yes, sir. I like that song.
Not so controlled
Dang it,
chaos, the
Tony.
musical.
There it is.
He's bringing the musical in, dude. Let's go. We're gonna be
But
more popular than Hamilton this episode.
what the fuck is Hamilton?
Are you serious, Tony? Were you not
I was
around in
Brother.
watching it for the
2015 to
first time.
2018 or something?
I just don't pay attention to famous people, bro.
You forget Tony's 12, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
I am 12, hanging out with 30-year-old. Ah,
Well, all right. So some context there. Tony's not actually 12,
And
I'm
I'm not
sure,
30.
and we're
I'm
40.
not-
I'm sure they
Well,
could
I'm
connect
younger
the
than
dots.
30, buddy.
Me too. I'll be
Same,
dead
maybe.
by
Don't put
then.
me over that hill.
I'll be dead by then.
Whoa.
I
Coleman,
got
no, you
past
won't.
25 and I was shocked. I was actually kind of shook. I was like, I didn't expect to get this far. So I started drinking more caffeine to try to end it faster.
Well, maybe think about it. Really, our bodies usually died out in like by 30. You know, it was only the last what 80 years, kind of that changed. You
They
know,
don't
I
die
mean,
out. They
no,
just
we
start,
die out.
they just start regressing. That's not the same thing.
No, we die out. Same thing.
Coleman's like, all right, big 3-0, guys. See you later. No, Coleman, you still have, you're fine. You're fine.
Just walk out into traffic and collapse.
And kill like a bunch of 20-year-olds. They're just driving home.
I am built like a brick wall, so it'll do some damage to him.
That's true. At least one car. The second one? The problem is, like in Nebraska, there's a good chance you're gonna get hit by like an F-150.
I can take it.
Dooley Cummins.
It's shitty.
That one I can take it, but it's gonna take me pretty far.
It's gonna take you far, dude.
Yeah, man.
What a SpongeBob meme.
Who would you say the most influential artist on your life is, and what would you say was the song that I guess got you through the most in life?
I would
Mine's too
definitely
emo.
say, I would definitely say 21 Pilots stressed out, bro.
Dude, 21 Pilots.
That's a goated answer, my guy.
Nah, dude, I hate people that say that shit.
Well, I don't know. Well, come on. Sometimes it's legit.
It's a
21
good
Pilots?
song, but it's not at that level. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was cool when we were all like 18, 19, and it's like, oh, this is a pretty good song.
I have like a
21
new
Pilot.
influential song like every other year. Sorry, Tony. What?
I'm
21 Pilots. What?
baby.
Oh, stressed out?
Okay.
He says okay.
21 Pilots. What, Tony?
No, the one was like, I wish I found a better sound no one ever heard. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I can't sing a song.
Yeah, no. I actually know exactly what you're talking about because I'm not emo. That's Car Radio by 21 Pilots.
Car radio.
That's the name of the song. You just what?
I don't
just
know,
leave,
brother.
just let
You're
it
like
be.
Max. I don't know what song you're talking about, but that's the same one.
Nope.
Dude, Coleman, you feel like you're energized right now, bro. I feel it. I feel it in the mic.
I'm surprisingly still awake, which concerns me because I need to go to bed soon.
So, anyways, mine isn't 21 Pilot. I was just joking. Mine will be probably Junior, bro.
Junior
Bad
H
Boy
is most.
Flowers. Yeah.
Junior
Yeah,
H sings like Spanish sad boy music.
Yeah. But
Oh.
back in the day
so,
though,
like,
his new stuff is ass. I ain't gonna
okay,
lie.
recently it's a lot of the older artists, like the 50s artists, but like growing up, it was straight up like Eminem, Slipknot,
Slim
Nirvana,
Shady.
like all that stuff from like the late 80s, early 90s. Like anything there had a big influence on me growing up.
I feel it.
I
I
would
feel it.
I would say as a teenager, it was definitely Eminem, and I still think Eminem's my favorite artist. But
His new stuff sucks to me.
the song I like a lot of his new stuff. He has some. I think
like, he has
Eminem's new
opinion.
stuff sucks is a meme that's been around for like the past 10 years, and I think that if you
No, but
actually listen to it, it's really good.
this new song where he's just like, oh, I can't say retarded.
Abracadabra.
That's retarded. And I'm like, oh,
That's literally all of his. Okay, so that's like a big thing. I've seen that. Most of his songs were just that. Like the first two albums that everyone says are his best albums, I don't agree. but they say that those are the best albums. He's literally just like saying the worst shit he could possibly say. Like, oh, you think I can't say this? I'm gonna say this, and you're not gonna like it. That's literally the whole premise. Sorry I gave you mushrooms, girl. Like, that's just him drugging someone.
Will
Like,
Smith
he's
don't have to cuss in his records to sell rap, or no, in his raps to sell records. Well, fuck him and fuck you too.
Fuck you
Will
too.
Smith has to
Said
cut
it in
to be in a
Spanish and
relationship. Well, I don't. But yeah, it's I think his new stuff's really good. But the song back then that really probably hit me the hardest by him was that's a tough one. Mockingbird's really fucking good.
That's a good one, yeah. I fuck with that song.
Haley's song's really fucking good.
Yeah, all early Eminem is good. Like even
And
his
middle
depressing
Eminem,
songs,
late
like they
Eminem.
just hit.
There were
There's
some
that-
songs like in his early days that I genuinely didn't like. Like, I think it was a "Guilty Conscious" with Dr. Dre. I thought that song was pretty ridiculous
It's
for the
mid.
same reason that like you said, Coleman. Like, I can't say retarded. That's retarded. Like, you're really gonna sit
Yeah.
there and talk about how you fucking burned a house down and fucking murdered people and all this? Like, that's
That's
excessive. Like, that's
see,
ridiculous.
but that's the problem with both of these examples, guys. Is that's his entirety of his first two albums. Like all of
Not
Slim Shady,
entirely. So like,
mostly, yeah.
mostly, yeah, I agree
We could
with
have
you.
a whole dude. We could have a whole fucking pod about Eminem, bro. I'll be on one. Slim Shady LP and Marshall Mathers LP. So much of that, but
There's like a lot of
there's
darkness
like a
for sure.
differing like quality of the songs for sure.
I feel like it's because when he was younger, there was like the actual his words. It's hard. How do I explain it? So when he was younger, there was more. He was more likely to have actually done these things, right? So like if he's talking about how like he caught a body or whatever at like 22 years old, like you're like, okay, bro, like you probably did catch a body. But at 40 years old, it's like, come on, bro, like 40, 50 years old, it's like, uh,
But see, that's the
all
thing.
right,
Like
buddy.
that works with Nas and people that were telling stories about their life. That doesn't work with Eminem because he was never telling stories about his life. Like rarely. Every once in a while, you would have like um, The Way I Am or something like that, where he'd actually like stick you with something real. But almost
Right.
always, it was just like I'm going to walk into a room, kill everyone. But like
I'm like,
that was like most of his songs were just the most ridiculous shit that he didn't do in real life. And then he kept that going.
Exactly. And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is like I feel like, and another better way to put it is when he was younger, his delivery for the way he raps was far better.
I
If
don't
that,
even agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I think that, and this is obviously we all have our own opinions, but I'm like speaking like I'm the fucking penultimate Eminem fan. But I think like Rap God, Godzilla, show me a song he used to have. Show me a song where he's that lyrically skilled. He's just
yeah,
different. It's just different. It's like a Tech Nine versus an old Eminem is just different.
I'm
Tech
not
Nine
saying
is
even
so good.
lyrically. What I'm saying is like
I don't know who
delivery
Tech
wise,
Nine is.
the
No, I meant
What?
energy,
sorry. I meant delivery too. Yeah.
You
like
don't know
the
who Tech
energy.
Nine is?
No, I have never listened to him, bro.
Go listen to some Tech Nine. He's so good.
Tech
Yeah.
Nine's like
Let's go listen to something.
Tech Nine's the biggest underground rapper in the underground music industry.
He is
Like
Literally.
right
so
now?
good.
Yes, like
So good.
I think he's the highest paid underground musician.
He's the
Damn.
biggest independent rapper.
Yeah.
That's good for him.
I think his delivery there's definitely been periods of time. Like for instance, in 2009, he had Relapse, and I don't like Relapse.
I
I think
hated that
Relapse is
album.
shit. But outside of a few songs, like he always has some bangers and even the bad ones. Revival in 2017, don't like Revival. But fucking Marshall Mathers LP2, one of the most underrated albums I've ever heard. Like it's so fucking good, and his delivery in that, A+, dude, S tier even. But it is hard. Like it's a big trope in our society, I think, in a lot of entertainment and media, to be like that's not as good as the old one because we grew up at a certain period of time and were influenced by certain things at certain ages, and we grow up and we kind of grow away from it. So then we're like, that's fine, but it's not as good as his old stuff. Like it happens more often than not.
I feel like he dropped Relapse, and I kind of just completely checked out of all of his music. Like I had no desire to listen to anything else. So like he probably does have really good music that's dropped after Relapse. I've just never heard it.
Dude, that's wild. You even hear Recovery? Recovery is fucking goated.
I've heard some
Recovery
songs,
was very good.
but I don't know. It just I don't know.
That's fair. I feel like a lot of people jumped off the Eminem train like after Encore, which is oddly in like interviews is one of his least favorite albums because he was really, really, really fucking high. Like that was one of that was one of the albums where he was like the most fucked up. But Encore is like fucking Yellow Brick Road, Mockingbird, um, Lose Yourself, which is his biggest song ever, which I don't think is his best song by any means, but it's really good. 8 Mile is not technically on Encore, but 8 Mile's awesome. Uh, yeah, I can't go off on Eminem. I gotta rein myself back. Fuck. Okay, so Juan, what's wait, no, okay, I do have for an adult song. So as an adult, Swing Life Away by Rise Against is for some reason a song that always just makes me, I don't know if it gives me like an existential crisis or what every time I listen to it, but it also kind of grounds me in a weird way. Um it just kind of makes me look outside myself for a second and see what's going on. So to this day that one still hits me pretty hard. How about you, Juan?
Growing up, it was probably honestly Lil Wayne, like surprisingly.
Lil Wayne.
Yeah, Lil Wayne,
I
like
I,
I
Hell yeah.
I like Lil Wayne.
yeah, I fucked with Lil Wayne heavy as a kid, and honestly, like and then getting into high school, so like freshman year and shit, that's when I started like finding out about Kendrick Lamar right before he started getting like super big. And Kendrick Lamar was probably like one of the more influential artists like later on in my life because obviously I'm not black, but I didn't grow up in the greatest area by any means, like whatsoever. So like I could relate to a lot of the things like specifically like one like for now like one of my favorite songs that I could listen to every day is Father Time by Kendrick Lamar. And I don't know, I think it just kind of it's basically him talking about how like he has like daddy issues and like all this shit and like he's basically like sitting there like yeah like it's my fault that I am the way that I am and I need to take accountability and like better myself and like I need to wake up every day and like do everything that I can to be a better person and there's no real excuse like it doesn't matter that I didn't have a dad there's doesn't matter that I didn't have all the opportunities that most other people have like I need to make the most of what opportunities I do have and actually like get off my ass and be something like even though like I'm not necessarily trying to strive to make somebody proud, I should strive to make myself proud. And it it's a really influential song to me. I really fuck with that song heavy.
That was like the first time I ever heard it when we were on the lift. Because I like went through most of that album, but I just a few songs I didn't even try to listen to. And that was one of them, and that was really good.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers is a very overlooked album, I feel like people saw that Kendrick dropped it. And like don't get me wrong, like, it probably did get some of the record recognition it deserved, but I feel like it's a low key slept on album. It's a really, really beautiful album, honestly.
Did you get mind fucked too when you watched the first time I watched the music video where he like changes his face into
For
like
Father
uh
Time.
no, I think it's I put a gif in the
Oh,
chat.
the AI one where he goes through like
Oh, was it
Kobe and like all
N90?
those like
Was it N95 or was it Grieve? We grieve different.
I
Let's see what
grieve
song.
different. Yeah, it's
United in Grief.
yeah, United in Grief.
Yeah, he like changes his face to like yeah, Kobe, fucking OJ. It's creepy as fuck. I was like I was like, what am I going insane? What am I watching?
But it's a good song though. Like the video
It
might have
is.
been its own thing, but it's
And
a good song.
95 and United in Grief are my two favorites from that album still. So good.
Yeah, I fuck with Kendrick heavy. I could go back to anything in his catalog and bump that shit day in, day out. Like High Power, bro. One of his OG ass songs, bro. I could listen to that shit every day.
I'm
I don't
excited
know.
for him to call Drake a fucking pedo in the Super Bowl where
Me
100
too.
million people are watching. And,
Say Drake. I hear you like I'm young.
I do not go to Cell Block 1.
Drake is fucking toast, dude. He's still gonna make money, but
Well, yeah, because there's
no one's
people
gonna
like
look at him the same, dude.
there's Drizzy Glazers everywhere. So
What's
Yeah, I think
crazy?
there's plenty of people that are still going to be like, this guy's good.
there's people that are
Yeah.
still in denial that he completely got obliterated
Yeah, I
in
mean,
that
there's
rap battle.
people. I was hearing there's people like defending Dr. Disrespect on Twitter and stuff, and I'm just like, the dude, it like a lot of
He
the comments.
admitted it.
No, that's the best part was like a lot of the comments were like, 90% chance this is fake, and I'm like, the guy told you that he was doing it. Like, how much? Like, what? It's a confession. It's not like a hey, I'm having to say this or like someone's making me say it. That wasn't even anyone like they're just so out of the loop that they're just like Dr. Disrespect forever, bro. And they'll do that with anybody because people are fucking shouldn't have access to the internet.
No, absolutely. Well, I wouldn't even say that much. I feel like there should be more control over things. So, like, I think that if you're signing up for a platform, your profile picture should have to be a picture of yourself. And you have like when you're signing up with the platform, you have to like provide your ID and it has to your handle has to include like there needs to be less anonymity is the best way to put it. If you're gonna be brave and try to say some crazy ass shit on the internet, you
Put
should
your
be
name
held
on it.
yeah, you should be held accountable for the shit that you're saying, for sure.
That sounds really smart, but um that sounds like a libtard thing to say too. So you gotta be careful with that one, Juan. You don't want to be put in the same camp as me.
How
I
is
think
that?
we're both libertarians.
I'm not though.
I'm not a libertarian either. I'm an independent.
I'm a fucking anarch. No, I'm just playing.
I was about to say,
I'll burn
I
this
lean
shit
more
down, bro.
anarchist.
I'll burn this shit down.
Well, I was like, I lean more anarchist, but
Well,
I
that's
claim libertarian.
the joke. The joke was mainly that like it feels like if you have a differing opinion on like a certain subject that like most of your group or most of your opinions don't align with. Like my pro-gun thing, right? Like I'm pro-gun, but I'm also very like pro-choice. So like those kind of opinions clash super hard, and to me they're both matters of individual freedom. And like explaining that to someone on my like my left friends or my right friends, whatever, they're both just like, nope, you're a fucking liberal or you're a fucking alt-righty. It's like that's not exactly what happens by any means. There's a lot more nuanced conversation with most of my close friends, but that seems to be the general consensus when most people have two differing opinions. They're like, you can't pick a side. It's like, why? Why do that when like,
I
I,
could just pick no one.
yeah, yeah, have your own opinion. Like just, and if that opinion changes, that's fine. Like maybe you learn more information, like we were talking about earlier, and it just grew. And just accept the other person's opinion is different. Like I don't agree with Coleman on everything, but I never like think later after a conversation with Coleman like, why does he think that's stupid? It's like
Well, it's
no,
just an opinion. Like, you know
it's
what I
an
mean? It's the
opinion.
same thing. Like, you can disagree with people and still be friends.
Hmm.
Absolutely. So
Like, I
like
don't understand why so many people can't separate the two.
what I
It's
mean
wild.
behind like there needs to be less anonymity. It's not along the lines of like you shouldn't be able to express your opinion. Like that's you should be able to. What I'm saying is that if you are going to express your opinion and say some hateful ass shit, you should be fucking held accountable. Like let's say an example is like, "Oh, I think that you're completely wrong." And then you go on to say some like racist ass, hateful ass things afterwards that are completely unnecessary. Like I think you should be held accountable for that shit. You know what I mean? I
100%.
have another question for you guys.
Uh,
That's why he's the coast. He's the guy.
When are you the happiest?
fuck, that's kind of hard, Brand.
I had a joke
Honestly,
answer right away, but yeah.
I mean, you can give me a joke answer or a real answer. It doesn't really matter.
No, the timing's gone. Honestly, what?
uh,
Right when I come.
No, it's like whenever I'm like, there's a few times. Like I enjoy working on things. So like anytime I'm like working on a car, I'll be pissed off, but like inside I'm pretty happy. Like if that makes sense. Or like anytime I'm like riding a bike, like just going down the interstate at like 110 or whatever, obviously in a legal zone. It just like I don't know, man. Something about it just like takes the weight off. Like I don't know.
Mine is like the serious answer is definitely whenever I am enjoying something with my girlfriend, like we're both mutually enjoying something, whether it's just sitting and doing like saying nothing and just kind of enjoying each other's company or watching something and laughing together. But this also extends to friends too. Like there's no better feeling for me in the world than um
Spending time with people you care about.
just like being there with the ones I love. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the top feeling. Like there's just nothing better than that.
I fuck with that. What about you, Tony?
Oh, me?
Yeah,
When I'm the happiest.
You are
Fuck, bro,
indeed
when I'm
Tony.
eating.
when you're eating, I
Like
can,
drain that stupid snake of its life.
I can
Hell
definitely
yeah,
see that, dude.
dude.
I can see that.
Fuck, when I'm eating, bro.
I've never
Fucking
seen
left it.
somebody's face light up as much as Tony's whenever he sees a snack in his presence.
It's because he's on that cut.
He's just, yeah, I believe that. I could see that. You're happiest when you're eating.
What about you, Juan? How do you follow
Honestly,
that?
mine was honestly gonna be similar to yours. Uh, I find I'm the happiest whenever I'm with like my wife and we're doing realistically anything. Like her presence just soothes me, if that makes sense. It's obviously it's a serotonin boost. I get happy as shit, dude. Like there's no better feeling than being cuddled up with my baby. But yeah, no, just creating memories with my wife and my family in general. You know, my wife and daughter for now, and
Your daughter
future
for now.
future kids to come. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
because
Yeah. There was one
and
time. Oh, sorry. Go on.
no, you're good.
No, I just had ADHD. Thought I'll come back to it.
No, yeah, but like probably that and like hanging out with friends too, obviously. But like I don't know, so it's hard for me to have fun doing something knowing that my wife could also enjoy it, if that makes sense. Like I could have fun doing something, but I would have more fun watching my wife have fun doing the same thing.
Yeah, I could. Man, I'm not gonna get. No, I'm not gonna get into the glazing. No, I could get pretty hard. And I glaze. I could glaze all day. I just can't do it. I gotta keep it a little funny. But there was one time where I was ziplining with my girlfriend, and there was like this moment I had when we were like holding hands on the zip line, and it was I don't know, it felt so surreal that it didn't feel real. It was so amazing. And that
Beautiful
happens
moments.
yeah, dude. And that when that happens, and it does happen often, it just is yeah, your brain can't even like describe it. I mean,
At
I
all.
could, but again, I'm gonna stop glazing. I don't want my girlfriend to hear this and be like, "Oh wow, you're so sweet." And like, no, fuck that.
I'm gonna make sure that I edit this in
Like,
like the way that you're just the sweetest dude ever. I'm gonna
Yeah.
make sure that we throw in like you're probably never gonna say your girlfriend's name, but I'll edit it in somewhere and just like it's just gonna be your I'm gonna throw your voice into an AI thing and then I'm just gonna just have it glazing how much you love your girl the whole time.
My girlfriend,
Japanese woman hit me up.
all the Japanese women in the chat, put
Yeah.
your number down below.
Put it in the chat. I'll get to you.
He will download WhatsApp to text the
D-
foreign numbers.
DM
I
me
will.
at Father Egg Whites.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you have any social media. Dude, someone would do that too. Once we get popular, someone's gonna go back, listen to this one, DM you, and you're not even gonna have the right You're not even gonna have a profile.
Yeah, you got to make
Yeah.
everything you own father egg whites now.
Yeah.
That's depressing. Because I can't change it on certain things.
Twitter?
I don't
Yeah,
have a
you can.
Twitter.
I was gonna say you can change it on Twitter.
Ooh, Insta. That's where a lot of women hang out.
No.
I would assume.
That's where the whores go.
Okay, well, my girlfriend's on there. You fucking piece of shit. I'll kill you.
I've deleted Instagram.
No, a lot of girls I do. Almost every friend that I have that's female is on Instagram, and almost every male I have that's my friend has Instagram as well.
Not me, Max.
Hey, brother, I used to do it, and then I would just look at bikes for like 6 hours a night, and I was like, I can't
That is
do this
exactly what I
anymore.
use Instagram for.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I would only watch Pokemon videos, like Pokemon reels, and I just kind of realized that I can use literally any other form of social media. So I was just wasting this one.
Yeah, I feel that. It's like not doom scrolling, but it's just like it is doom scrolling. It's just not looking at shitty, like it's not looking at sad things, but even looking at things you like, you could just look at them forever, and that's still not good.
I've just been steadily deleting all social media.
I like have an account with almost everything. I just don't have any of the apps on my phone because I used to use like everything, but I never really. I was always like a boomer when it came to that stuff. Like Snapchat, I just had for women. And once I became not single, I just stopped using Snapchat. I deleted it. And my friends that were guys were just like, "Bro, like, you see my Snap?" And I'm like, "No." So if it was in the last like 7 years, then 6 years, probably not. Oh god, I probably have so many fucking messages on Instagram and Snapchat.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I still have Snapchat, but it's literally only to Snapchat my wife still to
Yeah,
this day, who I live
look,
with
it's
every day.
dude. Yeah, my girlfriend's like, "You should download it again just for me," and I'm like, "Nah, dude."
Nah,
Me and
dude.
me and my wife are currently at a 2,782 day streak on Snapchat.
Damn,
Damn, dude,
that's a lot.
that is a lot.
That is, to be specific, 7.62 years of Snapchat streak.
That's pretty fucking adorable.
Yeah, we've been a little over 8.
It's just Juan glazes his wife, the podcast musical.
Dude, I love my wife.
Yeah, and I love my girlfriend Juan, but she can't know that, okay?
She needs to know that, Max, every day.
No, not publicly.
Yes,
Why not?
I even
publicly.
have like a
Let's get him in
fucking
trouble. Let's
I
get
have
him in
like a
trouble.
cute
Why
I have
not?
a cute I have a cute voice for her too, and that I always use, and like I do so well not to slip up. But sometimes if I'm like drunk or something and we have a friend over, I'll accidentally start doing it, and I'm like, fuck, I've been outed.
Catching
Hopefully
yourself
everyone is too
slipping.
drunk. Dude, it's a real problem. Sometimes I'll call her by like her like nickname or whatever.
Her little
Like
pet name. Your guys' pet
yeah,
name.
I'll
Yeah.
I'll accidentally do that. And I'm like, fuck. I'll even say it in like a normal voice, but then I'll just say it and I'm like, wait a minute, that's gonna sound really odd.
Can you say it for the
No,
pod?
dude, not gay, bro. I'm sorry.
Do it for the episode, bro.
He can't. I have to respect this boundary for him.
You're just gonna put me in an AI generator and make one for me.
I might. You, you guys remember the show Roly Poly Oly?
No.
Roly
No.
poly oly.
What about Bear in the Big Blue House?
Not not really. I know Hey Arnold.
Hey Arnold, that's a good one.
Yeah, his big fucking football head. And that chick that like worshipped him. Do you guys ever wish that you, when you were like a kid, that you had someone that secretly like worshipped you? I
No,
didn't.
I'm
I
gonna
thought
let
that
you in
was
on
creepy
a.
as fuck.
that's weird.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret, Max. It's not really a secret. I've had stalkers
Yeah, yeah.
multiple
I've
times
heard.
in my life. Never would I ever wish that on anybody, let alone myself.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
close once to having one, but I hope that I didn't have any like secret ones, because those are the ones that you just I feel bad for. Like if you have like a secret admirer, I feel like shit, because it's like if you like someone but it's good that they find someone else eventually. But what if they don't? You know,
Well, sucks to sucks.
that's what the dude Tony, good one, dude. Like I bet Coleman has a secret admirer right now because of the pod. I bet he
I
has
doubt
someone
it.
that's just absolutely has like a whole like in Hey Arnold, that chick had like a whole fucking meat
Ryan.
statue of him. Yeah, shrine with a meat statue. Just his head, like a fucking oh my god, just Coleman's head sitting there right now. I mean, they don't know what he looks like, so they have to guess. But
He's like a younger, better looking Kratos.
yeah, he's like Kratos from the old games,
Yeah.
but with the but
The
bigger.
new
Oh,
beard.
yeah, but with the new beard.
Yeah,
His old
and
beard
then
was
and new
weak.
bulk.
Yeah.
I've been bulking for years, brother.
Yeah, old Kratos is too skinny. He's a fucking twig, bro.
Yeah, he was. I could break him over my knee. That man is not strong.
And
Mm-mm.
But he was still killing gods.
that's true. That's true. And that's the W Riz right there, buddy. That's gonna get you that Japanese woman of your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get what you deserve one day, brother. Just you wait and see.
I'm gonna get her, and then the next week I'll be dead, and I'll be like, "Wow, that was great for 1 week."
He'll
What
be okay if he has one.
are you gonna like die mid
He's
mid
Mid-bump.
fondle?
mid-stroke. Oh.
We all had the same idea there.
Not a bad way to go. Not a bad way to go. Some little
Uh,
too fast, too furious right on top.
hell yeah, brother. I
Max,
tell you what,
Yeah.
brother.
I thought I should let you know, sir, that because of the fact that you brought up Warhammer on the last podcast, or the last
Been
episode,
all
I should
over,
say,
dude. Been all over your phone.
it's everywhere on my phone. And I have to admit to you, sir, it's very interesting. So I did catch myself yesterday, right when I got home, sitting in my car for a good 16 to 20 minutes, like just watching videos on the lore.
Dude, in 2022, I knew absolutely nothing about Warhammer, and now I'm hundreds and hundreds of hours later. And it's so silly too, because like outside of a couple games and barely getting into the tabletop, don't touch Warhammer. Just love the lore. Or, I mean, like audiobooks too, but love that shit, dude. Love the universe. Oh, we're gonna have a Warhammer podcast here soon.
So far, the lore is actually really interesting. Like I'm starting to learn about like the different. I don't want to call them characters because they're not characters, but they are characters. Oh, factions, but they're are they factions? What are they called? Like the
I would
different
say
types of people, I guess.
there's factions and then there's like sub factions within factions too. Like within the Space Marines, which is like a faction, there's like a shit ton of chapters, and then within the chapters there's like yeah, it goes pretty deep. I know
Oh
that Coleman's
yeah.
been really into it too. Like he watched that video I sent him probably.
Nope.
I knew he was gonna say
Send
that.
it to you again there, buddy. He's a space wolf for sure though.
I could see it.
Space Wolf.
Now a lot of people are gonna say you're a furry, Coleman, but you do not listen to them. Because even though you are a little, you're also a Viking, and that's what matters more. You're just a Viking that goes
Wait, am I a midget?
No.
no. So that's the Votan. Probably butchered that name, but no, you're a big strong boy, but you're also like a werewolf kind of. Because space wolves can be werewolves. They also have like fangs. They grow up, but they're like the only space wolf. They're only space marines that like fuck and drink. So that's pretty cool.
All right.
Like all
The
the
more
other,
you like hype it up, the less cool I feel. So I
no,
don't know how to feel right now.
I mean, they're awesome, dude. They're like so. I told you that one story. There's something in the video on you didn't watch, where like they get uber fucked by the Inquisition because the Inquisition is terrible, and Dude, fucking Logan Grimnar just goes over there and chops the Lord Inquisitor's head off, and he runs in Terminator armor, which you can't do. You can like jog, but it's so heavy. Like it's so heavy you're walking or jogging at best. I don't even know if you can jog. But he just fucking runs in it. Sprints through the fucking ship and just fucking cuts his head off. It's so cool. And kills Grey Knights, which are more powerful than normal Space Marines because they can use the warp. They're psychers.
So the Space Marines are the Astartes, right?
Adeptus Astartes, yeah.
Adeptus Astartes, right? And then what are the ones above them called? The Adeptus
Custodes.
Custodes, yeah. Them motherfuckers are badass, bro.
Bro, okay, so like they're like it's like if you were watching the NFL, right? And someone told you there was a league above the NFL. They were taller, they were stronger. They one guy from this other league was better than 10 NFL players, your favorite players. But then the one job, the one sport that they played, they kind of sucked at. That's the Custodes. They had one job and that was to protect the emperor and they fucking didn't do it. And they got kind of wrecked. But individually they're all absolutely insane. And they can be there's a few like differences from them too, like they're all handcrafted mostly as babies. And they were
They're like
before
genetically
the
modified, right?
yeah,
Instead of like surgically modified.
they're also surgically modified, and they're both like there's a lot of secrets when it comes to the Custodes, but yeah, they're just like hyper space marines basically. Like they're very close probably to the Emperor more than the Space Marines are.
That's what
And he
I like read from the lore that I was reading, that the Emperor took parts of his own DNA to create the Custodes.
and he also did that to create the Primarchs, which the Primarchs are what they use to make the Space Marines. And the Primarchs are like better than the Custodes, and they're like they're like demigods, like right below the Emperor. The potential of a Primarch is that it's like so vague, obviously, because fucking Warhammer. But a potential of a Primarch could be anywhere from beating all the Custodes to fighting the God Emperor. Like the power levels are so.
Well,
I mean,
Horus pretty much fucked up
purposely
the
vague.
God Emperor, did he not?
He fucked up the God Emperor because all four Chaos Gods were like powering him up.
So how did Horus end up committing heresy? Like how did that all like how why did he do it, I guess?
Um, he's a little bitch.
Fair.
The chicks.
he's a little bitch.
Yeah.
Some book reader basically decided to go with chaos and then infiltrated his mind and convinced him that there was going to be a future where everyone worshipped the emperor. Funny thing was he was like showing him the actual future that he was going to cause, and that him and his brothers or some of his brothers would be forgotten. And he's like, oh, fuck that, I'm a war master, I should be he's not. This is unfair. And then he's like, yeah, and the emperor stole powers from the chaos gods from the warp, and he doesn't tell you about it because he's afraid of you guys getting it, and he's not sharing. And he's like, he's not sharing. So then yeah, that's what starts the heresy basically.
Mm.
That was like a very very abridged version. It's like an entire book, but
So as far as like me trying to figure out more about this, is there actual books that I could buy or download to listen to or like read, or is it just kind of like like Reddit feeds that I have to find to get more lore?
audiobooks, lore channels. There's a wiki. The wiki page is really good too for just like general information. It depends where you want to start, basically. Like if you want to start in the Horus Heresy, which is a good place, there's so many Horus Heresy audiobooks. I'll send you a link to the first Horus Heresy audiobook because the first three are the really important ones, and then of course the ending. But there's 80 books that just cover like a vast majority of things that happened during that time. But I'll send you a link to that one. That's a really good place to start. I bought that for Nick, Sebastian, so they could kind of get a start on the books.
And I guess like
Last
my other question would be, what if I run into a situation where I'm listening to lore on like one audiobook, right? And I find a couple other sources or whatever, so different audiobooks, and they kind of conflict with what another one is saying. Like, what happens then? Like, how do I know whose lore is more accurate?
That's like a decision you have to make for yourself. You have to read, like I always go with the guys that like cite their sources, and like if someone's talking, like the one I sent you guys were the Australian guy tends to be very like um he interprets a lot of things too, but he's also pulling lore from a book. So even though he's just not verbatim saying it, he is pulling from like actual words from a book from a writer. So I go off of that like first and foremost, but you will run into that a lot because there's a lot of vague shit. Like even interpretations of what the emperor is or does or how he was created or what he is, like all of that's purposely vague because Warhammer's supposed to be like you almost make your own story sometimes. Like there's hard set points in the universe, but then you create your own world around it, which I think is really awesome. But I also I like that, but I also don't like too much vagueness.
Yeah, I kind of
Um,
need like a direction.
and in that, Warhammer's pretty good about having like those solid points that are happening right now. There's a lot of vagueness around it, but what's happened has happened. Like it, there's a chance they'll retcon something or they'll change something from a different person's perspective, but there's just things that happen that don't change. Like in the current lore, because it's all based on the tabletop, so sometimes things take like fucking 10, 20 years to happen. Recently, Warhammer's been getting really popular though, so apparently it's been progressing a lot faster.
Well, you guys got me.
Yeah, there's lore channels are my favorite place to go for sure because they're just I mean, an audiobook is awesome. There's some awesome ones out there, but it's also a lot. Whereas I could get like an hour of lore video and then decide if I want to listen to a book about it. We even got fucking Coleman into it, even though he hates it.
I don't. I'm trying to figure something out right now. Sorry.
He was playing Space Marine 2. First thing he said to me, oh my God, Coleman, are you enjoying it? Do you think it's awesome? And he's like, $40 game.
It's because it is.
It's so good. It's such a
It's a
$60 game.
good game. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say it's not a good game. It just didn't feel like a $60 game.
You remind
You
me
know
of
what
a
I mean?
guy. You remind me of a guy on YouTube where his steadfast rule was $1 1 hour. He's like, if I don't get an hour out of each dollar of a game, then it's not worth $60. But for me, it's about quality. Like if I get a
That's
5.5 hour
pretty
campaign,
fair.
it's not though. To me personally, like if I get a 5.5 hour masterpiece that I remember forever and replay like 20 times, looking at you, Halo, then I would pay $60 for it over and over.
Here's the thing, right? I have a lot of games that I have over 60 hours in. Uh, and I did not pay $60 for them.
Yeah, so
Like
for
The
you,
Witcher
it's
3, I
like,
paid $10, and I think I ended up playing like over 80 hours on my first playthrough.
do you have a game though? And this can go to everyone. Anyone can answer this. Do you have a game that was short but was totally worth the money purely from the experience you had in it?
High on Life because it was free and it was funny.
You know what? Everyone has
Wait,
their own opinion.
how'd you get High on Life for free?
It was
Game
on
Pass.
yeah, Game Pass.
Oh,
I also did. And it's
um,
fucking garbage. I'm kidding. Sorry.
you're
What
good.
is
I
that
would say
game about?
Titanfall 2.
Oh, Titanfall 2 is so good.
Titanfall 2.
Oh,
Really short story, but really good game.
short and sweet, dude. I played through that campaign like 3 times. It's so good.
I know, but I was so upset. Like I can't believe I spent full price for that game to play 6 hours of storyline.
But did you like the multiplayer?
Yeah, of course, but I don't buy games necessarily for the multiplayer. If I'm spending $70 on a game, it better have a fucking killer story. Like God of War, worth $70.
Yeah, I can see that. It's all about the value to like the value of your time spent on the game.
Because so like any like I don't I'm a big Pokemon fan, as you guys know. I honestly think it's really stupid for me to pay full price for Pokemon games. It really is. I'm gonna do it no matter what, but
Yeah.
I think it's no matter what game, and honestly, ever since Gen 5 and on, the games have been ridiculously easy. When I was a kid, I used to challenge myself to complete the main story, so basically beat every gym, challenge and beat the Elite Four, become the champion of the region within 24 hours of gameplay. As a child, obviously I wasn't as skilled as I am now playing the game, but it was more of a challenge then. And like as I got older, like it got somewhat easier and easier. But I noticed after Gen 5, they started making the games like pretty much like walkthroughs. It's not there's no challenge to them whatsoever. Like they almost give you how to win.
That sucks. Because I feel like you should. I'm of the opinion that all games, well, not all games, but certain games having that, like a Pokemon game, it makes sense that that is a mode you would play, but it's one that you should select. Like it's like a walk, like a story. You know how like God of War, I think even has like give me
Yeah.
story.
Yeah,
It's
the
like yeah,
theatrical version or like you actually play the
yeah.
game. Yeah, yeah, I
Give
agree.
me the child version where I can walk through it, but then give me the old experience where I'm actually like, because my first Pokemon game was Diamond, and I
Mm.
remember I don't fucking remember how old I was, but I was really bad at it, but I loved it. But I was like, I never beat it. I was like stuck at the end, and I was trying to like level up my Pokemon and figure out what was going on. I wasn't very into video games back then. I was like just starting, and it was like on the DS or something.
You see, and
Um,
that's kind of like when it started to fall off right around there. So like you got to
I haven't
experience like
played anything new.
Pokemon, and then everybody after that kind of got to experience like they're not really I don't know how to explain it, but it's just
I'll have to
it's
try one of the newer ones to see what you're talking about, because that kind of sucks.
if you have a Switch, I'll let you borrow one. But
Oh, I do.
uh yeah, it's just the games are ridiculously easy, especially like the last ones that they dropped, Scarlet and Violet. It's literally you're at an academy where you can take classes that teach you how to be ridiculously good at the game.
Odd.
So like it teaches you all the type advantages and like what items would be best in certain situations. How like it literally teaches you everything. What Pokemon evolve using what stones. Everything that you would need to know to play and beat the game you can learn in the academy.
Oh, that's weird. I guess you could avoid Academy would be like the only thing that.
Yeah, you don't have to take the classes. I don't
Okay,
think
that's
at least.
something.
I did because I'm a 100 percenter always. And I think that you do need to complete the school in order to trigger certain events. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I just did it anyway because I was bored and was waiting for DLC to come out. And even then, I bought the DLC for that game. It was like an extra 35 or 40 bucks or some shit just for me to be able to go to 2 different islands and collect 3 new Pokemon.
Oh shit, dude.
You see it like that's just
Very,
stupid to
very
me.
real in Pokemon fans.
Eh,
This is a really good subject too about, well, first Pokemon and then just difficulty in general. But one thing I wanted to bring up, how did you feel as a Pokemon fan about Power World? Like, obviously not even really a Pokemon game in the gameplay sense. It was more like an Ark survival. But did you think that that was good, that it, like, shell shocked the Pokemon team to be like, oh shit, we got to make something better? Or do you think it was just like it didn't affect them at all?
I want to I hope that it kind of like was like, "Hey, we need to step our shit up." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I doubt it. The thing is, it's kind of like how we were talking earlier about how like artists can just drop shitty ass music after they've done what they needed to do to get famous. I feel like that's a lot of what Pokemon does. It's like, oh, well, it's our name. You know what I mean? Like as long as our name is on it, they're gonna buy it. And an example of that is when they sourced out the Diamond and Pearl remakes through ILCA and they released like so basically they developed the game. ILCA developed the game. It wasn't Game Freak, it wasn't Pokemon. Pokemon just released and distributed it. So that's just proof that because of the fact that they slapped their name onto it, some other developer basically made money because Pokemon threw their name on their product. And honestly, bro, the remakes were garbage. Absolute garbage. It wasn't there was no there was no difference other than the fact that like it was 3D sprites, and even then it was kind of like that on the DS anyway if you had the 3DS.
Yeah, it kind of seems like a money grab sometimes with Pokemon. But it's
Yep.
like they make so much money that I don't think like Power World would have only affected them had Power World stayed a thing. Like it's still a popular game in general, but if they put out a new Pokemon game, they would outsell it. Oh, hello. They would outsell it for sure. And I think it would have a Shell Shock would have to be something that competes with it and like takes it like comes out around the same time, like a Call of Duty and a Battlefield competing with each other, comes around the same time and actually just outsells it.
And I
And
don't see
then
that.
yeah, I
I
don't see that
don't
happening.
because that kind of that was a thing at one point. So like in the, it's okay. In the early 2000s, you remember Digimon?
Oh, dude, yeah, I love Digimon.
Everybody loved Digimon, but at some point we all kind of like forgot about Digimon.
Yeah, so one of the games I played later on my DS that I liked more than the Pokemon game was actually it was a Digimon game, and it was very, very much the same exact fucking game.
Yep.
But but I liked it a lot. I liked it more because I just like Digimon better personally. But yeah,
And
Digimon fell off hard.
the concept of Digimon was pretty funny because like you're playing a digital console and you're playing with digital
Yeah.
monsters inside of a digital console, but you're playing as a character inside of the digital console who's accessing these monsters through a digital console. So it's like two layers of digitalization.
Yeah, it was kind of like Inception in the game.
Pretty cool. That's a good concept. They need to bring that back. I feel like if Digimon actually tried to make like a you don't know any of the newer Pokemon games, but there's one called Pokemon Legends Arceus. I don't know if you've seen gameplay of it. Obviously, I don't think you've played it.
I
But
have I have seen gameplay of it. My friends were like really into it at Tractor, and they kind of showed me, and they're like, I was like, man, that looks like ass.
and it kind of was, but it wasn't. It was probably one of my favorite newer games because of the fact that it was more like the animes. So you could actually attempt to capture Pokemon without having to engage in battle. If you snuck up on the Pokemon, you could just throw a Pokeball at it and try to catch it, which I thought was really cool because that's accurate to the anime. Um, I like the fact that it was like open world. It felt like a lot like a Pokemon version of Breath of the Wild.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, and that was my main problem with it too, is like because I don't play those games, the only thing I had to go off of was literally just visuals. But my friends that showed it to me also bought it because they're like, I don't care what the graphics look like, and they also were like, they loved it. They were playing it for like weeks.
And so like that's the biggest thing with Pokemon that even Pokemon fans have been complaining about forever. And most other Pokemon fans that don't see a problem with it usually use the excuse that like, oh, they're fucking releasing them on these handheld consoles that aren't the fucking greatest with graphics and all this bullshit. And like I I get that, but I feel like for one, they gave us an OLED Switch. If I have an OLED Switch, I feel like you could improve the graphics on your games a little bit, you know what I mean? And I've noticed because I have every model of the Switch that if I play a game on the Switch Lite compared to the OLED, there is a difference in graphics. However, the regular Switch to the OLED's just a little bit brighter, but the graphics are the exact same.
Yeah, and
So,
people were using as a comparison like the fact that Breath of the Wild looked insane, and the Sword of whatever, like the new Pokemon that game at the time didn't look as good as that. It looked way worse. And it's like, well, yeah, but dude, you're dealing with the same system, but you can't put all those developers, they don't even work with the same engine necessarily. Like they have completely different systems to work with. Like it's like they kind of just, and this is Nintendo's own fault because they have four IPs, right? Like they have the same shit they release all the time.
mhm.
But you can't have Mario in the same like Breath of the Wild is a very, very rare occasion for Nintendo graphically. So
But even
to
then,
make the Pokemon people be like, you have to make it look like that, it's like, do they?
so like even then though, like you could like the newer Mario games are actually pretty clean
They are
graphically.
they are very pretty, yes.
So like why couldn't Pokemon do it?
Yeah, I wanna give them cope, but at the same time, it is kind of tough because I feel like they just try to save money that way. Like they
They
don't
do.
give them as long of a development cycle, and they're just like, you don't need something new here.
It's like I was getting at earlier. That it's just their name. They know that they can copy and paste code and just introduce a couple new Pokemon, and they're good to go. They'll sell millions of units, and they know that. And I'm fucking gonna buy the game, even though I know that. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. That's like one thing that I guess I'm not necessarily like a full blown fanatic of because like I'm not gonna decorate my house in fucking Pokemon or I'm not gonna wear nothing but Pokemon clothes and all this shit. But like I will buy every game that comes out every time, even though it's the same fucking game. I always buy it.
Okay, so I was doing some research too while we were talking about this. Right now, Poor Pal World is 60th on the Steam charts, just for players online currently, which sucks because their all-time peak they were like third. Like they've dropped so far. There's only like 20,000 people playing it, which is still a good amount for a game. But I looked up Pokemon Go, which isn't fair because it's a phone game. And right now, just on Pokemon Go, there's 650,000 online players.
I still play Pokemon Go. I cannot lie to you.
Is it is there any way to monetize Pokemon Go?
You could stream it.
Like no, like sorry, is there any monetization in game where you have to pay for shit?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So yeah, that's I mean that's a big hit for like Power World showed us that like for like a small amount of time it can compete, but fuck, dude, like
It was like a knockoff Pokemon that was literally like they took designs of Pokemon and like altered them slightly. So I guess like they altered them good enough to where it looks like it's kind of like a knockoff Pokemon. And you look at these creatures in Power World and you're like, oh, I know what Pokemon that is. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure. Honestly, probably. I wouldn't doubt it, but I don't really know much about Dragon Quest like that.
well, it looks like I don't know how accurate this player count fucking website is, but it's saying that there is 9,300 people playing Pokemon Arceus.
Yeah,
That's the
Pokemon
newest one.
Legends Arceus. That's the one that I was telling you about. That's not technically the newest one. The newest one would be Scarlet and Violet.
Okay, let me look that up on this one. See how accurate this is. Because it would make sense if that was an older one that's 5,000 people or 9,000 people playing it.
And Scarlet and Violet was a pretty cool game. I beat those games. I even completed the Pokédex in those games.
It's actually pretty hard to find a player count for some reason when it comes to Nintendo. Are you a fan of Pokemon, Coleman?
I am. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure this out.
Make that so.
Alright, next topic.
It was like Earthman or something dumb.
Yeah, everybody dies.
Not so